I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. It is really an honor to share this room with so many of you who've dedicated your lives to serving others and supporting this incredible organization. As David said, I signed my first professional contract way back in 1986. And for the next 10 years, I played baseball at the highest level in professional sports. All the while, I was hiding a secret life and relationship from the closet. At that time, it was hard keeping my secret from everyone, my family, my friends, my teammates, everyone. And there were many, many more bad times than good. I was playing in the big leagues for the San Diego Padres, and at the time, I thought I could manage the secret, the hiding from my parents, my brothers, people who want to come to the games, hiding a human being basically in my home. And I thought I was managing it until the day my partner Sam, while lying in a hospital bed, holding my hand, died. Sam had been diagnosed with HIV just 4 months earlier, and for an athlete who is in the closet and uninformed, he was really my lifeline to the world, especially a connection to our community. He protected me from a lot of different things, and a lot of that was, I think I took it for granted until I walked out of that hospital in shock. You know, I felt sadness, I felt fear, I felt isolated, and I felt certain that I would succumb to the same fate that he did. On that drive back to our home in San Diego, I don't know why, but I foolishly decided right there and then that there was no place in baseball for someone like me. I didn't know who or where to ask for help, so I just quit. Sam had never met my parents. We didn't have gay friends, lesbian friends, anyone in the community. My name was easy to remember and silly, and I was afraid for us to go out. I thought people would recognize us. And so the only alternative I thought, was that I should just move as far away from San Diego as I could. It took me a few years, but once I stopped hiding from my truth, I began to meet some incredibly heroic LGBTQ people. Some fought the government for access to HIV medication. Some fought for the right to serve openly in the military. Others fought for the right to raise a family or simply work without fear from dismissal from discriminating employers. These were champions, and it was a crash course in reality for a former athlete. But they helped me understand that there was a way for me, one person, to impact not only our community, but take advantage of the visibility of pro sports and why hiding was no longer an option. I'm certain I am certain that baseball would never have looked for me if it were not for some of these amazing leaders. They explained over and over how the visibility of pro sports could give me a platform to communicate on behalf of all of us to a whole new group of people in hopes of bridging differences and finding common ground with others. So ironically, I was asked by Major League Baseball to return for the exact same reason that I left the game. Simply by just stop lying is basically all I did. I didn't have to be somebody that I wasn't. Never would have got to that place. The shame of the secrets, the lies of the closet. My partner Sam, I didn't go to his own funeral because we had a ball game that day, and I had to live with those decisions. And I didn't allow myself to have a network of support, a family, a chosen family, and I know that all of that would have changed. And as David said, again, in 2014, because I put myself out there, MLB asked me to come to work for them and initiate conversations with our big league players about culture, respect, and inclusion, which had never happened before. And at that time, I was, At that time, unbelievably, I was the only living Major League Baseball player, past or present, in the 150-year history of our sport to ever publicly disclose that they're gay. We didn't talk about visibility as much as we do now and representation and understand the power of that. And for the first time, players were seeing someone who was a member of both worlds. It wasn't easy, but I literally just dedicated myself one team at a time to examining and discussing the bias that for so long went unchecked in professional sports. And because there was a sense of a connection, I tried to focus on the things we had in common and not the one thing we didn't. And then in 2016, after being in New York for a while, one day I called Callen-Lorde to introduce myself. It never was lost upon me that I could have easily been subjected to the same fate as Sam. And I read up all about the work they had been doing. And I didn't know who was going to pick up the phone or if they would say yes, but I asked them if they would be willing to give me a tour. And I told them I worked for baseball, and I thought there might be a way to just raise the visibility and really communicate the importance of their work. And then upon my arrival, the feelings of a former player, I would come to New York quite often to play, and I immediately thought like how my career might have been different if as a player I'd known to come to Chelsea and speak with someone there who understood me or my secret or might be willing to educate me about all the things that I didn't know about. And it was really a transformative moment. I met on that very first visit, I met my great friend Donnie Roberts, and he just gave me a whole bear hug and transparent about wanting to figure out where I could find a space to help, feeling that baseball, there was a space there because I was the connector. That same day I met Wendy Stark. And I met the one and only Archie Prudent at the annual zoo event that same summer. I don't know if he's here. I'm sure he will be, but say hi. He's been great over the years. And each year since then, MLB supported the auctions, like you saw earlier tonight. I proudly run and completed the 10K portion of the Rainbow Run. We've hosted education trainings and honored the Health Center at the New York Mets Pride Night at Citi Field. We've recently launched an exciting MLB backpack initiative with HOT, the Health Outreach to Teens. Wonderful adolescent medical program. And most importantly, I've introduced many of my coworkers and MLB Pride ERG members to the incredible work that Callen-Lorde does every day. And we will continue to grow our relationship and support the initiatives each year. It's fun to see some young professionals' face light up when they see the generosity and the history connected to the health center, and try to create a sense of responsibility or accountability to match that in our community, and it's really been something. We all know the LGBTQ civil rights movement started 54 years ago at Stonewall, and how amazing is it that Callen-Lorde began providing education, healthcare, and hope to those in need just 6 months later, right? I mean, what a legacy. But if history tells us anything, we know it's more important now than ever that we are united and continue to care for each other. Personally, I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger because I was afraid to reach out. I thought my world began and ended in pro sports. And for years, I felt like a failure for not living up to my potential as a player and quitting the game. But however difficult life was then, and life is hard for everybody, I know now that I am privileged. My work has purpose. I have an amazing husband named Greg Baker who I love and makes me feel happiness every single day. And as a community, I mean, every day we're seeing it, and it's trending in the wrong direction. We still face discrimination and hate, and we must stick together. And I pledge, I am more than humbled by this award. Callen-Lorde, everyone here, you inspire me to do better, and I will continue to fight for acceptance, equity, and fairness for the rest of my life. Thank you very, very, very much.